Missouri improves to 6-6 with their win over Arkansas, beating the Razorbacks 29-27. They now are bowl eligible. This was a fantastic game by Brady Cook. I mean, he was snapping. And he has played some really good football for Missouri over the last month. And with the offense that Missouri has, the talent they got at receiver, I think they have a pretty good group of running backs, although they could improve at that position. This offense, I think, is going to be really exciting to watch next year. But Brady Cook was the MVP of this game. I mean, he could not be stopped. He was looking like the white version of Lamar Jackson out there, honestly. I mean, he had 18 carries for 138 rushing yards. And he also had 7 yards per carry and a touchdown. And this isn't the first time he had a performance like this. He had a really good performance against Tennessee. I mean, Brady Cook has played some really good football over the last month or so. And when you look at Arkansas, Sam Pittman, after this season, I think needs to look at this coaching staff. And I'm not going to say he needs to fire some people because that's not my job. But I'm just going to say that Sam Pittman needs to make some tough decisions when this season concludes, because this made no sense. Kendall Briles is a solid offensive coordinator, but there's been several times where I've tuned into some Arkansas games and they get into the red zone and he gets too cute with the play calling. I mean, bruh, there was a series in this game when Arkansas had to settle for 3 points when they were right there at Missouri's 2, and not just that, but they also had a penalty that gave them an extra first down. There's no reason why they shouldn't have came away with a touchdown. They called a direct snap to the running back, which they already did that somewhat earlier in the game. Do something else. Then they want to call this this rollout play. I don't know what it is with Kendall Briles and these doggone rollout plays, these bootleg plays in the red zone, but he loves them. He loves to call them, and they never work. You remember last year, that game that they lost to Ole Miss? He called some similar nonsense. A little rollout play for a 2-point conversion, I believe it was. Like, bruh, stop getting so cute in the red zone. You have one of the best rushing attacks in college football. And although Missouri was doing a really good job stopping the run, I do like Arkansas's chances of punching in 4 times at that spot of the field. I mean, it was only like a couple of yards. You got KJ Jefferson, Rocker Sanders. Who else is the other guy they got? I think they call him the Big It. Bruh, if you don't go ahead and run that doggone football and punch it in, why are you trying to throw the football when that's not even the strength of your team? What is up with the play calling? Kendall Briles is not a bad offensive coordinator. Okay, I think he's a pretty solid play caller. But at times, I think he can get too cute. Or sometimes he can just overthink it. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. Sometimes, even if the defense knows it's coming, they can't stop it. And I liked Arkansas's chances of being able to punch it in 4 times running the football at that spot. You only had like a few yards. And Missouri's defensive line was going ham. I mean, KJ Jefferson got sacked 7 times in this game. Now, 3 of these sacks were on him not getting rid of the football, but the pass attack for Arkansas, you know, it's been spotty at times. And it's always easy to point the finger at KJ Jefferson and his accuracy issues, which we definitely are going to point the finger at in this game. Even though he went 20 or 27, he still missed some really big throws. So you look at Landers, Hazelwood, I think they're a pretty good group. And I really hope that both of these guys come back next year. Because I think that with added offseason of development, you really could have a really good duo here. But in this game, man, I mean, there were some throws that KJ Jefferson was kind of off on. And maybe you could look at miscommunication, timing not being there. I don't really know what it was. But there was some big throws in this game that Arkansas definitely should have made. Now, this defense, we got to talk about Barry Odom. Sam Pittman definitely has some tough decisions to be made when it comes to Barry Odom. I mean, oh my goodness. This defense cannot stop a nosebleed, dog. I understand that Arkansas's defense had some injuries at a certain point in the season, and Catalan is out. All right, I get that. But I mean, this defense cannot stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't get you off the field. I mean, what can they do? Honestly, I thought Barry Odom was supposed to be one of the more respected defensive minds in college football. This defense don't look respected like right now. They look disrespected after what Brady Cook just did to him. I mean, there was a conversion late in this game, right? When Arkansas was trying to get the ball back to their offense, there was a third down play. I'm just looking at the defensive back. I'm like, bro, I just know they're going to go right to him. They went right to him and he moved the chains. And it wasn't even a good throw. It was a good catch by number 10 making the adjustment. And I'm just like, bro, this is something that if you're Arkansas and you're a program trying to get to that upper echelon part of the SEC, you have to be able to be good in situational football. And Arkansas sucks in situational football. Terrible play calling almost every single time. And they just seem to not be able to execute in the big moments of games against better competition. I mean, Texas A&M, LSU. I mean, if you're Sam Pittman, you got to look at this season, and it's definitely a disappointment no matter how you slice it. Okay, because most of us, let's be honest, had Arkansas probably being the second or third best team this year in the SEC West at 9 or 10 wins. So we got to ask ourselves, and Sam Pittman has to ask himself, you know, what happened? Because this season definitely is a step back from last year. Honestly, it seems like it. I don't really care if the record differential isn't all that great. It still feels like it. I mean, this team had so much potential this year. And yet they just haven't been able to execute in the big moments. The play calling just seems to shrink. I mean, I don't know what it is. But you look at Missouri, and they finally are able to win the one-possession game. And one of the announcers talked about it earlier during the broadcast. He was like, it's kind of a nightmare to talk about it. You might want to hide your kids. But I mean, this is a program that I think is on the up and coming. And I don't think a team's inability to win close games always is a bad thing. You know, sometimes it can be a good thing. You got to ask yourself, what could Missouri have done better in those losses to have come up on the winning end? Now, it's not like they're Nebraska and they're Scott Frost and they're not winning games. I mean, they're losing one possession games, but they are a 6-win football team. They are going bowling. So, I mean, I think for Missouri, if you can get some more consistent quarterback play out of Brady Cook, because this was his best game where he actually was able to put it all together. He was good throwing the football, and he was good with his legs. Complete, great, all-around performance. But they need to be able to get better at winning these one-possession games. You almost could have beat Georgia. You almost could have beat Florida. I mean, these one-possession games are something that Missouri has to get accustomed to being able to win. And I want to see if this program can do it next season. This defense was really good. I don't really know how many people they have all coming back on defense, but I think for Missouri, this was a very big win for this program. They're going to be bowl eligible. I want to see who they're going to play in their bowl game. I will be watching, and I probably will do a post-game recap about it. But congratulations on Missouri on the win. They now are 500. Arkansas, I mean, this is really disappointing, bruh. Really disappointing. They're 6-6. 6-6, bruh. I mean, I don't want to try to put a narrative on Arkansas just because I was wrong about this team before the year, but golly, bruh. This team just could have been so much better than this. But I appreciate you guys for listening. If you guys have made it up to this point, thank you. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure that you check out the JT Sports Podcast. Every video that is uploaded on the channel is available in audio format on every single podcasting platform. Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast from, the JT Sports Podcast is available.